Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week for League Review for WildCard for the next 3 weeks. I'm your host, William, and with me I have a unexpected, not planned, very special guest in Brock.
Yeah, I'm here for a very particular reason.
Well, if you're watching this on YouTube, you wouldn't know what happened on Twitch. Brock, why don't you explain what just happened?
Will did a dumb and decided to do an entire league review while being muted.
And because it's Wildcard Podcast, it doesn't get the most views. There's not, obviously, it's just what happens. It's it's okay. I like doing it. I like seeing how these teams work. Uh, no one was here. Brock's like, I'm gonna give my good friend William a view. Like, I'm gonna see how he's doing because he's doing it on Saturday, which is weird already because, like I was explaining in the previous podcast, that I was really busy. My friends, they really wanted to play some games last night. Like, okay, I'll do it. You know what? Like, I was supposed to do the podcast, but like, they don't get the. I was playing League with friends that don't ever play League. So anytime like those friends really want to play League, like if Brock wants to play an ARAM, screw that.
Yeah, exactly.
but if like Jakob's like, I want to play League, or my other like Billy, I'm like, I want to play some League right now. I'm like, oh wow, we haven't played, like, you don't play League like once a month. Like, I'm not gonna cancel on that. Which we did, by the way. Swain Yumi 3-0. It's the new meta. Pulling it out there. I'm telling everyone right now. It's amazing with the new changes to Swain. Anyway, not important. Not important. I was just Brock being the good friend he is. He's like, I'm gonna give him a view. Can't hear me. And I'm like, look at it, and I look over, and for some reason, Streamlabs, we've talked about this over the last like 2 weeks or so. Streamlabs has been giving me quite a few problems with not uploading my chat and stuff like that. It can't connect to chat. It can't do anything like that. Apparently now it just disabled my mic. Just completely. It took the setting of where my mic was and turned it to default, which is nothing. So Brock tells me that. I look over. It's been about 55 minutes or so. I hate my life. I've been talking in my room for 55 minutes, not realizing that my mic was not connected to Streamlabs. So, I'm burnt out. I'm just going to show my predictions here instead of there's a great, if you can lip read, there's some great commentary on these predictions for all these weeks because we're gonna be away for the next 3 weeks on Fridays at least, and we won't be able to. I'm so defeated. I'm like, my throat hurts because I'm just talking for 50. It hurts after these like 50-minute podcasts and stuff like that for just talking constantly, especially when I'm by myself and just always talking, like trying not to have any dead air type situations. But I'm so upset right now. I am as tilted as you can. I am the 1 in 10 Yasuo on your team right now. I'm running it down mid on a podcast form. I am.
Yes.
Here is CB LOL for the next 2 weeks. Those are the predictions right there. This is the playoffs, which I even explained greatly in the last one. How I did this was because I can't tell who's in the playoffs. I did a type of situation, like a ranking system, like Kaboom beats everyone. Uppercut will beat everyone besides Kaboom. I made a huge case for Uppercut being above Flamingo. I made about a 15-minute case for that. I was like really happy about that one. I thought I explained my point very good. Unfortunately, I did not because it was muted. I explained it to myself. Pain, Ends, and Redemption CMB, the other teams that can make it, they're not going to win any games. Cool. Next one. OPL. I made a huge point here where I think Avant is going to lose every game for the rest of the split. I think that they are mental boom. They have only won 2 games in the last month and a half, and those were against Legacy, who's only won 1 game in the OPL. Probably like a bottom 3 teams in the entire world of professional esports. And that's the only team Avant can beat right now. So I have them missing playoffs. There's still a possibility, but I don't have them. If they even make the playoffs by miracle, they're not going to do anything there. I had Gravatas winning like 4 games and sneaking into the playoffs. It's all here in the predictions, as you can see down the list here. And over to the left, ignore that because that is Turkey that I was finishing up when Brock came by. And then here's that. So those are the predictions. You can see them. This is gonna be the. I don't. If you can't tell how tilted I am right now, I am very very tilted. Week 6.
Good.
Here we go. I did this. I picked a bold prediction of Dashing Buffalo over Game Esports or Gigabyte Marines. I thought that was very cool because they just they got upset to low key, got 2-0'd. I'm like, okay, I think this is going to be a big upset that they're going to come back vicious, angry, and win to make it a 3-way tie for second place with Flash being in first place for Vietnam. Found out Vietnam only has one more week. I can't give you that prediction yet because, as I explained before, Vietnam doesn't release the schedule until the week of for that week. But I was doing the math on it. There's only 1 week left in Vietnam, so luckily I'll be able to get that and won't be on the podcast, but I'll be able to tell you that I'll be able to make the predictions before the games actually start. And then I will go from there and make playoff predictions while we are gone. Week 9, Turkey. Here we go. This is where I was finishing up. Actually, yeah, this is where I was finishing up. We got Dark Passage, I think, winning Game 6 against Bursaspor. Royal Youth against GS. There you go. Supermassive against Aurora. It's amazing to me. Supermassive is the SKT of Turkey. They have moved all the way up. I can show this one at least, which I was already talking about this, but whatever. They have won 6 in a row. They were 4-7, looking out of the playoffs, looking really, 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 really bad. Almost like a 33% win rate. And they have just have been completely turned the season around. If they can beat GS, which I think they will, or they can beat Aurora, and GS loses to Royal Youth, which I think will happen. They did beat GS already today to get this in place. I think Supermassive is actually going to finish in second place on the split, which is insane, considering they were basically out of the playoffs, just like SKT. It's the exact same scenario, except just in the Turkish league. Cool. Playoff predictors: Royal Youth, everyone. Supermassive, all besides Royal Youth. 1907 Fenerbahce, all except for SM and Supermassive and Royal Youth. Aurora over those. GS over BJK. BJK over no one. Cool. Next. I am so angry, Brock. Thank you, by the way. I would have never noticed because I don't have the video of, like, I just did the podcast, so I just upload immediately from Twitch to YouTube. So I would have uploaded that video and it been completely muted and not realized until someone pointed it out on YouTube. So I appreciate that.
This is a good thing I decided to click on the stream at that point.
Yeah, really, because I would have done the LLA. And LLA, here we go. Here's my predictions for here. I think that LLA, by the way, Brock, you obviously don't know about the LLA. However, the LLA is kind of stupid in their playoffs. They have 8 teams, minor region. Usually all the minor regions have about 8 teams in them. 6 teams make the playoffs. How is that? How dumb is that? That doesn't, why? I don't like that at all. Like, you have to be really bad to miss the playoffs. And unfortunately, Pixel has already been eliminated because of a tiebreaker situation. But the rest, Isurus Gaming, we saw them at MSI. They're really, really good. I think they're going to beat all the teams like hit down here. Furious Gaming, I have actually beating over All Knights. I think Furious Gaming is playing really well right now. All Knights over anyone else, or over those, except for those two. Rainbow Six, I'm so mental boomed right now. I can't even explain. I want to just slam my desk. I'm so angry. This is like losing your series to someone ending on you, and just your series to diamond. You're like, I finally made it, and then someone ends 2 games in a row, 3 games in a row. It's the same guy, and you just keep playing with them. So those are those predictions. Japan League, Brock. I know you're a big fan of the Japan League, right?
Huge. I love what they're doing.
I actually love the Japan League. I'm 47-15 this split in Japan. I feel like I've gotten the Japan League down. They've already clinched their playoffs. They only have 3 teams make the playoffs. Much better than 6 teams, by the way, when you only have 8 teams in the region. That's a much better show of talent. Unfortunately, they've already all locked places because Burning Core loses the tiebreaker against V3, not to be mixed up with V5 like I always do. But so yeah, these games are all completely pointless for Week 11 and Week 10, which already happened today, today, this morning. But yeah, I went 6-2 in those games. There they are, right there. Week 11, my predictions are right here. None of them matter because they're all over. But even with Burning Core, that had to have been depressing. That they were actually mathematically eliminated on week 9. Now that I think about it, because V3 lost both games, including games to Burning Core, and Burning Core went 2-0. So the fact that you can go 4-0 on the year, and the other team can go 0-4 to end the year, and you still don't make playoffs, and you had an okay year on the whole end, that's kind of disappointing. But yeah.
Mild.
Hmm?
Mild depression.
Yeah. Just like me right now.
Yep. I think it's very mild.
Yeah, we're on extreme levels of depression right now. It's like this one. This is off. Sure, we'll go off topic just to make this podcast last more than 10 minutes. It was an hour, trust me. It was like an hour and a half. But my parents were watching something about like video game addiction, like on HBO Real Sports or whatever like that. And there's this one guy that was like, he was so addicted to video games, and then like, because I'm pretty sure I have that addiction, I would assume, because I play video games and stuff, and just think about video games, talk video games. Anyway, he's like, yeah, my grades are failing. I used to be an A and B student, then I got an F. I got Fs throughout college, and then like I didn't know the next thing to do. So, or like he's like, so I like tried to like quit video games altogether, but I couldn't. So the only thing I could think of doing was to kill myself. I'm like, I feel like you missed quite a few steps in between there. Like, what do you think, Brock? If you had to stop playing, just kill yourself, you know? Like, what? It was very weird. I was very confused while watching that. It's the only way to go.
Yeah. Yes.
They were bringing up good points about, they were saying like the gambling situations in games with like loot box and stuff. That stuff is absolutely true. I absolutely agree with that. The big companies manipulate people to buy loot boxes and stuff for situations like that. Anyway, back to League, because I'm so happy to talk about League right now. Russian League. Here are the predictions for Week 3. Gambit, Elements, M19, Vega. Unicorns of Love, Vega. Dragon Army, cool name. Cool name, lame logo. I don't like the logo at all. It's not very vicious, is what it could be. Speaking of Vega, I actually think Vicious' logo is pretty cool. They're not good. They're definitely the worst team of all professional league teams. Even Jenner would at least beat them 2-1. But yeah, I think it's embarrassing. Just how bad they are. Just I don't even. I'm so angry. Here's Week 3. Here's Week 4, and here's Week 5. There. Here's I'll show the game so if you want to see what they're facing against. Here, I'll just go. Gambit over Dragon Army, Elements over Rocks, M19 over Vicious, Vega over Rocks, Unicorns of Love over M19, and Vega over Dragon Army, Dragon Armor over Vicious, Gambit over Rocks, Vega over Vicious, Unicorns of Love over Dragon Army, Elements over M19, Unicorns of Love over Vega. You get the point. There's that's too many. There's like 21 more games to go, or 19 more games to go. There you go. Ugh. So we should play ranked at this, right, Brock? Just go in. I'm in a clean mental state right now. Let's talk LST, which we just brought into the podcast last week. LST, here you go. That's all these teams that made it from solo queue that have joined the league now. You have Detonator. I have Detonator. I had some upsets here because I have no idea. But
I love it.
Hey, Mitchell,
Hang on.
1 second. Let me just.
We forgot to go to the podcast channel.
Oh yeah, I'll just move to the podcast real quick, and then we'll be right back. 5 minutes. I'm tilted. Here we go. I'm back over here. Detonator over Win. Cool. I have Access beating Armor Pen. Cool. It's Armor Project, not Armor Pen.
Armor Pen.
It's not even. It's not even Armor Pen in the game. AP is for ability power.
Oh yeah, it's just lethality.
Yeah.
Well, no.
They have Armor Pen as well, but it's not like it's not called AP. AP is ability power, obviously. That's how tilted I am. Mega's gonna win the split. Just there you go. Here's the predictions for the next 3 weeks. And and then they don't have the playoffs. The playoffs don't start until they don't have a date yet, but they won't start until we're back already from our vacation. That's
Oh,
it.
that's vacation soon, right?
Yeah, well, the thing is, Brock, the reason why I had to do the wild, and this is why I'd made all the effort and was at like a 50-minute podcast just doing pure predictions, is that next week I am going to Jakob's cabin for just us and like just the family for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The week after that, the 16th, is when our vacation starts. I pick up Lars and Zach, and we're going back up to Jakob's cabin. So we'll be there from the 16th to the 23rd. 23rd, we get to Detroit, and we'll be at for the LCS. We'll be there, and so we won't be able to do the podcast from the hotel. So, so that's another week gone, and then finally on the 30th, I'll be able to talk again. I'll be able to do the podcast again from there. So that's why I was doing this week, next week, and next week's worth of podcasts all in one podcast. And it's like just predictions. It's going to be a long podcast, possibly 2 hours. And no, it's not. Because I did it already. I talked to myself. I'm not happy. I am very not happy. But yeah. And you can see all my predictions. So I made the predictions before the games start. Those are the 3 weeks. I think that watch out. I'm just going to leave you with watch out for Uppercut to make a dark run. I think Kaboom will win CB LOL. I think Chiefs will win the OPL. Watch out for Gravatas to make a run in the playoffs. A dark horse run. I think Gam will still win the VCS, but I have no clue, honestly, between Gam, Loki, Dashing Buffalo, and Flash. That's going to be a very, very exciting playoffs if you want to watch VCS. You'll have 4 elite teams all playing against each other. And especially because there's 2 spots now in the VCS for Worlds, so it's going to be very thrilling. TCL, Royal Youth should be able to win it all. Watch out for Supermassive, who has made a massive... That was not intended to be a pun, but there you go. They made a huge run, and SKT-like run, to all the way move up to number 3rd, possibly number 2. Aurora has also fallen down a lot here, and since I last made that power ranking 2 weeks ago, they lost. I think they've lost the last 4 games, or they've lost at least the last 2. Isurus. And I think Isurus is going to win the LLA. I think that the only team you don't really have to worry about any of these. All Knights maybe, but I think that Isurus is just in a league of their own in this type of situation. I think they'll be fine. LJL, I think it's definitely a two-horse race between Crest and Detonation Focus Me. I think whoever gets second out of these 2, they play each other this week, or this upcoming week, which is like actually 2 weeks from now. Because, by the way, Brock, Japan does this super, super weird thing where their last game today, they have 1 more week of play. They have a 2-week break now before that last week. It's really weird.
Sounds nice of them.
Yeah, it's like, why not have that 2-week break after playoff, like in between regular season and playoffs? Why have it on the especially because playoffs have already been decided. 3 teams or 5 teams are taking a 2-week break for no reason. And, the only issue we have is who's going to be first, Crest or Detonation Focus Me, and they're both tied at the moment. So, and they play each other, so that will be very interesting. That's basically, you just have to tell them come back for 1 game, and then they'll be done. For them, everyone else can just go home. No more need to play. But yeah, I think it'll be Detonation Focus Me. I have more faith in their experience. Crest game has been phenomenal this year, though I do think Detonation Focus Me wins against them. Crest will beat V3 in the first playoff series, and then Detonation Focus Me will beat Crest in the finals. LCL, all about Unicorns of Love, in my opinion, and Gambit. I think Gambit is also a threat for this. No, Vega Squadron actually doesn't look too bad themselves, but I think it's going to come down to Unicorns of Love and Gambit, and I think Unicorns of Love will be at Worlds. Weird to see them again outside of Europe, but they're back, and they're coming back with force. Essentially, they are Vega from MSI. They got Ananasic and all that. I love that name. LST, I think Mega is going to win this one. Liab is actually, I don't know who they are until just recently, because I don't follow the LST as much until just now. But they've started out 4-0, and they haven't lost a single game yet, so they're pretty damn good. But I think Mega, is, from what I saw, they have Lloyd and, what the heck is his name? I know they have Lloyd. G4. I was going to say Y4. I'm like, it's not Y4. He's in the LPL. But G4 and Rocky. They have 3 decent names on the team. Their bot lane's very weak, though. But I I think that Mega should be able to win this one, but don't be surprised if Liab wins. And unfortunately, I've only seen 2 weeks worth of this, so I don't have enough more details to tell you if these other teams. Steel Wolves Gaia look pretty good. Win Esports look not bad either. They've only played one series so far though. But yeah, it'll be quite interesting to see how the LST plays out. I think Mega will be the winners coming out though. It could be Liab though from the Philippines. But yeah, that is going to be the podcast then. Sorry, it's so disappointing because it's only 20 minutes because of all the situation that occurred. But thank you guys for coming to watch. And if you want to see a muted podcast version where I talk about all these things, go to Twitch. It'll be on the VODs and you can enjoy absolutely nothing. Thanks guys for watching and we will see you on Sunday for the LPL. Bye. Thanks, Brock, for joining. Again, for helping me realize I was muted. Good night.